Light is the fastest thing that exists, and it has never, not once, in the entire history of the universe experienced a single second passing. Zero time. Not slowed down, not a little bit. From the moment a photon is born to the moment it dies, however far it travels, no time passes for it at all. I read that fact, put my phone down, stared at a wall for 11 minutes, and then made this video about it, so now it's your problem too. Here's Doug. Doug is 47. Doug is recently divorced, and if you ask his ex-wife why, she will mention this exact flashlight. Doug owns a flashlight specifically so he can stand on train platforms and point it at things, which is again a contributing factor in the divorce. Today, Doug is doing the experiment. Doug turns the flashlight on. Beam shoots out. Speed of light. Completely normal. No notes. Doug gets on the train. The train, because physics thought experiments hate Doug specifically, accelerates to half the speed of light. Doug points the flashlight forward and turns it on again, probably narrating this into a voice memo for reasons nobody needs to know. Common sense says the light should now be faster, train speed plus light speed. You throw a ball forward on a moving train, the ball goes faster relative to the ground. Velocities add. Doug knows this. Doug, despite everything, took physics in college. Except light just doesn't do that. Doug measures the beam, exact same speed as on the platform, not faster, identical. Some guy standing outside the train watching it blast past at half light speed measures that same beam from a totally different angle and gets the exact same number too. Everyone gets the same number. Every observer moving at any speed in any direction measures light going at exactly the same speed. This isn't a rounding error. This is the rule the entire universe runs on. And to keep that one number locked, the universe will bend literally anything else first. Time, space, Doug's wristwatch, Doug's actual marriage, arguably. The universe looked at the situation, decided the speed of light was non-negotiable, and quietly broke everything around it instead. That's not a law of physics. That's an ex who refuses to apologize and rearranges the whole group chat instead. Quick, unrelated thing, because I genuinely cannot stop thinking about it. If you've ever wondered why those photos of blurry lights exist where people swear they saw a UFO, it's almost always just a regular drone, a regular plane, or somebody's brother-in-law messing with a laser pointer at a party. And I refuse to elaborate further. Moving on. Is light a wave or a particle? Pick one. You can't, because light won't let you, because light is the friend who says, "I'm fine," while clearly not being fine. In 1801, a guy named Thomas Young shines light through two narrow slits onto a screen. If light's made of particles, you'd expect two bright strips, like two streams of tiny cannonballs. Instead, he gets a whole striped pattern, the exact fingerprint of two waves overlapping. Wave, confirmed. Everyone goes home happy. 100 years later, surprise, light also comes in individual little pockets called photons and behaves like actual particles when it hits a detector. Einstein wins a Nobel Prize for this, so now it's a particle too. Cool, great, very helpful. Thanks, science. So which is it? Both. Genuinely both. And here's the part that should annoy you personally. It depends on whether you're watching. Run the two-slit thing without checking which slit each photon goes through, you get the wave pattern. Stick a detector there to actually check. Even if you don't touch anything else, even if you just look, the wave pattern vanishes and light starts acting like individual cannonballs again. It changes its personality depending on whether it thinks someone's watching. I am not saying light is shy. I am saying light is acting exactly like my cousin at family events, and nobody, including several Nobel laureates, has fully agreed on why. And here's the part hiding in your own face the whole time. The colors you're looking at right now don't exist. Not don't exist as in fake, I mean light itself genuinely has no color. What it has is wavelength. A number, a distance between wave peaks. That's the entire objective truth of it. Red light is just light with a wavelength around 700 nanometers. There's no little can of red paint mixed in. Your eye grabs that wavelength, your brain gets a signal, and your brain, completely unlicensed, unqualified, untrained, just decides this one's red and hands you the finished product like it's always been that way. Color isn't out there, it's an in-house production. Every sunset you've ever cried at was a number being interpreted by an organ that also, somehow, still occasionally forgets where you left your keys. So, light skips time entirely, forces the whole universe to bend around it to protect one single number, switches its personality depending on whether it's being watched, and the colors it's supposedly carrying are something your brain made up after the fact and never told you about. Doug, last anyone heard, still doesn't know if his flashlight beam went faster on the train. The universe fixed the math quietly behind his back and let him walk off the platform thinking everything was normal, which, considering the divorce, the voice memos, and the UFO drone incident from earlier that we are absolutely not getting into, is honestly the least of Doug's problems. Comment which of these four actually ruined your day the most, because I need to know that I'm not the only one who's now afraid of flashlights. And if you want the version where light falls into a black hole and things get genuinely worse, subscribe, because that one's not okay either.